Hello friends, today I'm super excited. I'm relaxing here in my cozy comfy bed and we are talking about Netflix shows. Yay! And I'm super excited because this is part 2 of these kind of videos. I did a part 1 a few months ago and you guys really seem to like it. I know I love watching these videos on other channels as well. And so I decided, you know what, I'm doing a part 2 because of course since then I have watched a lot more stuff on Netflix and I want to share about it with you guys. So if this is something that you like, let me know, give me a thumbs up. Definitely, guys, stop right now. Homework, stop. Comment down below, what are you watching? What are your favorite shows right now? Because I definitely want to know. And maybe I'll check something else out. And if anyone else is interested, they can also look down below and get some ideas. So if you are new here, welcome. My name is Tanya. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you take the chance to subscribe before you leave. That way you don't miss any of my other content. I'm a mom of 3 kids, 4 and under. And I honestly make a little bit of videos about a little bit of everything. From natural living, simplifying, minimalism, to Netflix movies, whatever kind of stuff I feel like doing on my channel. So if you're interested in that, hope you take the chance to subscribe. And let's get into this. Now, I wrote them on my little list. And I realized I just kind of was like brain dumping all the shows that I've liked since the last video I made. And I realized I have a lot more than 10. I'm only doing 10 today. But I realized I also have a lot of kind of documentaries. I've been in that kind of mood. So I might mention a few today, but I'm thinking I might do a separate video where I just talk about kind of like documentaries that I like or that are interesting on Netflix. And I think that'll be a different video. I might mention a few, like I said, today, but just so be a heads up, subscribe so you won't miss that video when it comes out. But yeah, so let's get into 10 shows that I really like or binge watch a lot or have binge watched on Netflix. My first show that I recommend is British Baking Show. It's like British things and baked goods. Like, what can you not like? It's just, I really like, I feel like even if you're not really into baking per se, it's just a very entertaining show to watch. It's like just really easy drama, you know, in a way, but it's baking. There's delicious pastries. They make wonderful like masterpieces out of dough, like, yes, so good. And it's just really cool to see. They have funny humor. I feel like it's just a really good show. They have different varieties. Like, they have a Netflix original, I think it's like a Christmas British baking show. They have the original British. There's a whole like franchise of them, so really any of them I really like. But check it out. I just think even if you, again, if you're not even really into baking or cooking shows, I feel like you will like this because my husband even really liked it. We both watched like all of them. We really got into all the baking drama. It's really cool to see how talented people are and like what they make with like cookies and bread. It's amazing. It also makes you really hungry, but so fun. I really like it. The next show, along with the whole reality TV kind of thing, I'm kind of a sucker for weird or goofy, weird, strange reality TV things. It is a new show that I actually just binge watched like a couple weeks ago. It's called Yummy Mummies, and I believe it's in Australia. It's in like a Netflix original, I think, but it's in Australia, and it's basically like a reality show about these moms, or mums as they say, in Australia, and they are pregnant, and I think they're definitely kind of like really wealthy moms because they kind of are like, their lifestyles are like really lavish and not like normal people, but it's just kind of like, I guess, the drama behind them being pregnant and baby showers. Like, I mean, it's not anything insane, but it's just kind of, I don't know, like silly reality TV if you're into that. I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was goofy and funny and just like, oh my gosh, no way. So I don't know, I really liked it. And if you're into reality TV, maybe check it out and maybe you will like it. Next show is called The Last Kingdom. Now, this is a show that recently I started watching again because they finally just came out with a season 3, because I binge watched this show like 2 years ago, I want to say, and then they just like stopped and I was like, where's the next season? And they finally just came out with it. I'm still kind of in the process of watching it because I tend to kind of skip around if anyone else understands, but basically it's about Uhtred, and he is like, that's basically in the time of, not like the Vikings, but like the Saxons and kind of like the Vikings during that whole period. And he's technically a Saxon, I believe, like English, but he was raised by like Vikings, and so it's like hard because he's like biologically Saxon, but he was raised, you know, so it's like he's kind of in between two worlds. And It's basically following his journey, like during all these conflicts between the Saxons and the Vikings and things like that, and all the wars, and like it's just a very interesting story, and like kind of following his life and what he's going through and all that. So if you're into historical fiction, I would recommend it. It's very interesting. I know I like it. It's kind of got a little bit of vibes of like the Vikings. I definitely would recommend it. I liked it. The next show, this is one that me and my husband are currently watching. It is called The Good Cop. I really like it, and it's, again, I think it's a Netflix original, although I'm not sure. But it's just really, I like it because it is a mystery, like murder mystery, detective kind of show. But basically there is this, I think Tony Stanza, oh my gosh, is that his name? He plays basically the father, and he, I guess, was a cop, but he was a dirty cop and got sent to prison, and he had a son, and his son is also a detective, and he's kind of the good cop because almost to a point where like he will break no rules ever. And it's really funny. I really like this show. I feel like if you're someone who likes mysteries, like the aspect of mystery detectives, but you don't like the gore and like kind of that aspect, you will really like this show, because I love mysteries, but I have a hard time if it's really violent or really gory or really anything like that. I have a hard time. I can't watch those kind of shows. So I really like this show. I think it's also like quirky and funny along with the mystery. So I definitely would recommend, if you're into that, check it out. We're really liking that show right now. We like to watch it. Next show, again, also a Netflix original. I feel like Netflix has really been killing it with the Netflix originals. Like, they've been really good. The next one is Bodyguard. This one is also something that me and my husband, it's like a little mini series. It's British, I want to say, I believe, and me and my husband binged that in like 2 days. But I think it's like 6 or 9 episodes. They're usually about an hour long each, and basically it's about this man. He was in like the army, the military, and he has come back since, but he has like PTSD, but he's very good at intuition and kind of being like a bodyguard. So he's like a police officer in the force, and basically he gets tasked with being a bodyguard for like a political leader, and there's this whole mystery behind it. And so it's very interesting because you're trying to figure out like what's going on. There's a possible leak, there's crimes happening, and then also you're like, wait, is it him? Like, it's one of those shows that kind of messes with you, like, no wait, it's him. No wait, is it? Like, is it that person? So it's very interesting. I definitely would recommend it. We watched it really quick, but I really like that one too. It has the guy who plays Rob from Game of Thrones. If you guys are Game of Thrones people, like, you know, we were like, oh my gosh, what is Rob doing in the real world? But it's that actor. He's in that, and I think he does a very good job. I really like him as an actor, and I think it's very, like, it's pretty well done, especially how he portrays his character as having PTSD, and just like, I don't know, it's a very good show. I know, I really liked it. Next one, I know probably everyone, their grandmother, cousin, their neighbor, and everyone in the world has been talking about, but I want to mention it because, again, I binge watched this one really fast. It's the Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. And again, obviously Marie Kondo, like, this is flying around everywhere. I feel like she's back for a second wave. If you're someone who read her book, which I did a while ago, she was very popular, and then it kind of died down, and now she's back again with the new show on Netflix. I feel like everyone who didn't hear about her before is now talking about it, and I understand why. I feel like it's very motivational. If you are someone who watches, like, it's kind of like motivational YouTube videos on Netflix in a way. It's just very, I think it's a good way if maybe you don't want to read her book or you don't have the time, which I just recommend read that book. But if you haven't, it's a good way you can watch the show and get kind of the big ideas of what her method of tidying up is all about. So I know I really like it. It motivates me. I feel like it's just interesting to see her process, and if you're very visual, it's a good aspect, like a good connection to the book, where you kind of see what you read in the book come to life on video. So I don't know, I really like it, and I mean, you guys probably know, so many people have been watching it, but I definitely understand why I really like it, and definitely would recommend it. The next show, this has been a favorite of mine, so many years. I don't know how long it's been going on, for a while. It is called The Midwife. I am a sucker for any really BBC show pretty much, but this, I feel like, especially being a mom and just having gone through childbirth, I love this show. I watched it even before, I think it was out before I even got married and had kids, but I think there's 7 seasons now. But it's based on true stories. It starts off, I think, in the 20s or 30s in England, and just basically following kind of like the history of like women and childbirth, and like even dealing with topics like how birth control, you know, or like that didn't really exist or really was talked about in the 20s and 30s, and seeing the progress, like things like birth control, women's rights, like different ways to give birth, like just things that maybe we think are just kind of normal now, looking at that in history. And I found it very, very interesting. It's just each episode is a story, and obviously there's sidelines to the characters like the midwives in the show, but it's also just each story is like an episode about a certain birth, a certain mom, a certain family. It's just, it tackles so many different interesting topics, and again through like through history. I just love it because it's a show that you started, I think, in the 20s, and I think now we're up to like the 60s. So just to see the difference, it's really cool. I love those kind of shows. And again, if you're into history, I think you'll really love it. Especially, I feel like if you're a mom and you've gone through childbirth, I feel like you can definitely relate to a lot of the things in the show. So I definitely really, really recommend that. Next show is Blacklist, and I'm still not through with watching this show. I'm always like I said, jumping around, but I really do like this show. I think it's a very interesting concept. It's something that is new that I feel like it's not like a lot of shows. And basically, if you're not sure what it is, but it's this woman, and she is in the, oh my gosh, I want to say FBI or CIA, now I totally forgot, but basically she works for the government, the US government, and she gets contacted by this man, and he's like a wanted criminal, like very wanted, on like the list or whatever, and for the US government. And basically he's like, I'm gonna work with you, and we're gonna, like, I have a blacklist of all these like criminals around the world that the government wants to, you know, has wanted to get their hands on for a long time, and they have never been able to find them. I will help you find these like horrible people who commit like these horrible crimes and do these horrible things. I will help you find them. But it's like a combination. It's like crime and I don't know, conspiracy theory. Like there's obviously a whole story. It's very good. I don't know, I really like it. It's yeah, it's just a very good show. I mean, if you guys have seen it, you guys know there's a whole connection, like when you're trying to figure out like what's the connection between the two of them, like is he her father, is he not, like all these things are coming out. It's very interesting, and again, it's kind of like crime in a way, but yet also like conspiracy theory, like government kind of things, like international, you know. So I definitely would recommend it. I like it. Check it out. If you guys like it, let me know what you think. I have two left that I want to talk about for this video. The next one is Kim's Convenience. This show, I feel like it's not talked about enough. It is originally from Canada, and when I started the show, I like fell in love with the first episode, and I told my husband, I was like, you need to watch this, you're going to love it. He fell in love with it, we loved it. I can't wait. I think they started filming in 2019, so I'm probably not going to get a Netflix, I think probably maybe till the end or next year, which I'm really sad, but I think there's 2 seasons. I just love this show. Basically, it's about this family. They're in Canada, but I believe, if I'm correct, oh gosh, why can't I remember? I believe they're Korean, like the parents are from Korea, but they immigrated to Canada, and their kids were born in Canada. And so it's basically kind of like an immigrant family, which I as an immigrant can kind of like relate to so many of the things they kind of mention or talk about. But it's like a sitcom funny show, but it's really, it looks at like the dynamics of the family, and just they have a convenience store. That's why it's called Kim's Convenience, because they're the Kim family. And it's very funny, like the kind of the struggles of like the daughter and dealing with, you know, living like in Canada, but also kind of the family's expectations. And I definitely can like relate to that, you know. And it's a very good, I don't know, it's just a funny show, good show. It makes you laugh. I feel like if you want something simple and just kind of just happy, I feel like, even though it's not always perfect, it's just a good feel-good show. I would really recommend Kim's Convenience. I'm so excited for when hopefully they have more seasons on Netflix, because I really, really like that show. The last show that I want to recommend is, again, it's like a reality TV. I think this one is also from Australia. There have been a lot of like Australian shows that I've really been into on Netflix. I don't know, but I'm really into them. It is called Instant Hotel, and basically, again, it's kind of like a reality TV competition show, but basically there are people in Australia who they have instant hotels, kind of basically like an Airbnb. That's like they have homes that they use for that purpose, and they are competing. So people take turns staying at each other's instant hotels, and they rate, you know, like the home itself, the experience of the city, because they're all in different cities around Australia and things like that. And it's just, again, there's always like, you know, drama, because it's like reality, you know, I'm pretty sure it's scripted, but you know what I mean, like that kind of reality show. But I don't know why, I just really enjoyed it. I don't know much about Australia, so I feel like watching some of these reality shows, again, not everything I know is always as real as what's portrayed, but just even learning about the different cities, and it was really cool to see. I don't know, and I love things, it's kind of like HGTV meets reality TV, you know, just like seeing the different homes. And yeah, so it was really good. I really liked it. I binged that one too. So if you're into like HGTV or reality TV, it's kind of a combo of both. I would recommend it. So those are my 10 recommendations that I currently have, and I'm so excited. Hope you guys enjoy them. Let me know what you think. Again, share down below your favorites, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. And hopefully soon I'll be doing one with documentaries, because I have some really great ones that I want to share with you guys and talk about too. So I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.